I'd like to welcome our next speaker, Asit Oberoi. Asit Oberoi is the Group President and the Chief Operating Officer at Yes Bank. He is responsible for overall operations and service delivery, including policy framework for the corporate bank and financial market across all channels, including branch service delivery and national operating centers. Asit is responsible for the management of the policy framework and its related matters, operational risk, and bank-wide quality assurance. Asit also leads cash management sales and product at Yes Bank. He will talk to us about the journey of Yes Bank as a startup and also how they could partner with startups. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Asit Oberoi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Potentially this is, I was telling someone just before this, potentially this is the hardest session. You know, right after lunch, they often call it the graveyard session. But I hope, I don't have too many people sleeping, so I'll try and keep it crisp. I've broken the speech into two sections, so to speak. One is where we will talk about Yes Bank and its journey and some of our experiences as a startup. And two is what can we do to partner with startups, including e-commerce startups. It was awesome to be, here today, as well as last night. I think, there is so much of positive energy that is coming. There are so many bright people in this room. I think the country is in really good hands. There's so much of intellectual capital. There's so many people willing to take chances. I don't think I haven't seen this, part of India, at least in all my years of working. And I also want to compliment the organizers for an absolutely fabulous job putting together a platform for people to showcase some of their startup experiences. And, really clearly, there is some of our biggest and brightest talent that is available here. This is, to my mind, a perfect stage for startups and entrepreneurs to share their experiences. I thought Rahul's session pre-lunch was potentially one of the most outstanding sessions I've seen. Frank, free. I must disappoint you. I'm probably not as frank and free, and I probably don't have as many stories in my life. So, and my objective of my session is slightly different. I would also like to amidst all these rich entrepreneurs, I thought it would be useful to. I got reminded of a line Rana Kapoor, who is the CEO at Yes Bank, uses a lot, and I think very relevant to this group. Entrepreneurship is one of the most challenging, yet most rewarding personal journey that one undertakes, as one is emotionally following one's instincts. So that whole bit of emotionally following one's instincts is quite powerful. And having worked closely with Rana over the years, I see him as being an exceptional banker in the banking space. And if one traces the journey of Indian entrepreneurs, pre-1980s were characterized by state dominance. There was restricting free enterprise towards this period. Many of you guys in the room were potentially not born, some of them, but that was the era at that stage. 80 to 90 was an era where we took baby steps towards liberalization. 91 to 2010, there was a newfound confidence in the Indian economy, where a lot of successful brick and mortar companies went overseas. There were acquisitions overseas. It was a very interesting phase there as well. But clearly, the present age in the last 5 years, I see this as potentially the most exciting. This is the age of digitization. I'm seeing so many new startups come up, so many new companies come up. It's absolutely amazing. There is the way of business, doing business is being challenged. I think there are a lot of interesting ideas that people are coming up every day. We've seen some of that during the day. And this present e-commerce wave also, which is driven by new age entrepreneurs, there is a infectious energy that people have to break it into 3 phases, so to speak, which is to visualize, strategize, and execute. And I think Rahul alluded to the execution part quite a bit as well. I think that is something we lay a lot of emphasis at Yes Bank. That is part of, I mean, a lot of visualizing and strategizing a lot of people can come up with. But the ability to execute, to my mind, is the hardest. If you do not execute well, you'll end up giving your client a bad experience. There is, you know, I always tell teams that I would rather grow business at a reasonable and gradual pace and not go crazy with growth. If you, to my mind, it is most important to give the client a good experience, what I call a consistent and superior experience. So we've tried very hard, though we've grown very fast. You know, CAGR for Yes Bank has been between 30 and 35% on key profit indicators. We are roughly in the 11th year of our journey. The balance sheet size 136,000 crores or about, and you know, shareholder equity is also quite high. So it's been a good journey as a startup. And this whole journey was born out of, you know, Rana's entrepreneurial, professional entrepreneurship, we say. We have a lot of professionals in the bank, and a lot of my colleagues are here as well. So that began. And we were the only greenfield bank in some ways over the last 20 years that got a license. Now, a few more will come up. But what that means is we had no institutional parentage as a bank. And like any other startup, we had, you know, our sets of challenges. We took calculated risks, notwithstanding that we had to be conscious of return to shareholders and stakeholders and everyone else. So it was based on very intricate planning. That was very key to everything. And I also think we were very flexible in changing to changing times. So for example, when our RBI deregulated interest rates, we were the first of the block because we felt it was the right thing to do to customers. Earlier, interest rates were regulated to 4% across all banks. So that very day, we came up with, within hours of the regulation, we came up with 6 and 7% because we thought it's an opportunity to offer that to customers. So I see, if I were to summarize, what do I see our startup journey? How do I summarize its success? What is it based on? It's based on professional entrepreneurship. We have a concept of an owner, manager, partner model. Employees need to feel that they are entrepreneurs, they can do things. You know, and I've worked in multiple companies, including MNCs. Here, you have an opportunity to cut through boundaries. We call it boundarylessness, where you can cut through and do what's right to meet client needs. Client is centric to everything. I mean, there is nobody more important than the client and what you do around it. So we place a lot of emphasis in doing the right things and, you know, taking courageous decisions to make that happen as well. Knowledge banking is another second kind of, you know, very important thing for the bank, where we actually try and develop industry experts who understand the industry. They're in, say, for example, IT, ITES, or e-commerce, or gems and jewelry, or any other sunrise industry. We try and understand the industry, and we try and understand the company. The objective is really then we can come up with the right solutions. Creative technology and innovation is again, you know, very important to come up with cutting-edge technology to help support clients. Very important. Finest human capital, I think, very important. Rahul briefly alluded to it. It's very important. In Yes Bank, we've placed a lot of emphasis on hiring very, very strong people. We have a lot of B-School tie-ups, I think over 100 you know, tie-ups. We hire a lot of what we call YPEPs, yes, professional entrepreneurs, where we hire from business schools. It is extremely important to create an engagement, a connect across different people. So, and very often in Yes Bank, you know, the human capital is, you know, trained in the Yes Bank culture, which is coming together as one bank to meet client needs, you know. And I will refer to it again and again, because that is very intrinsic to all that we do, to partner to meet client needs. And the last bit is, which I've covered earlier also, but I've got a separate bullet on it, which is customer-centric approach and superior structuring abilities to, you know, meet client needs better. Moving over to the next session, the next point, the next topic I had, I've broken it up into 2 topics. How Yes Bank can partner with startups, as well as e-commerce startups. There is a lot of e-commerce startup that is happening. I guess the first thing we try and do is we understand the need of the startup. So it's not necessarily first thing, let's cut a check and do lending. So it's a bit different from private equity. We want to understand your needs, your pain points, which may not necessarily, be just lending. There could be, efficiencies we could bring about. And I'll cover most of that in, I've got a structured way to present it. But it's all around understanding the need and making a relationship with the client. When we make a relationship with the client, and as COO, I potentially meet about 50 customers a week at least, and scattered across the ecosystem could be the more the top end clients, but it's a lot of startup clients in that lot as well. So understanding their needs and creating solutions, and the second bit is all around knowledge banking, which I covered a few minutes back. We want to understand the industry, we want to understand the problems, and based on our knowledge approach, we can create solutions. And also a lot during startup phases, Yes Bank's knowledge bankers who are there, they're industry experts. They offer invaluable advice and to help clients also come up with solutions, new product ideas, etc., and how to take some of those ideas to fruition. It's all around creating, building a relationship, building a partnership using the knowledge banking approach. Also, we also have, we work through the supply chain, the financial supply chain very closely. So we work through, there is a need for having an efficient ecosystem comprising of, I guess the equity or the private equity or the fundraising side, the banking side, logistics side, supplier side, the customer side. So there is a need for, putting that whole ecosystem together and, creating efficiencies for the startup. So while e-commerce companies, many of them, and I'm spending 1 or 2 minutes extra on e-commerce because there's just so much of excitement on the e-commerce space, and a lot of startups today are e-commerce companies. So while e-commerce companies are well funded, the ones which have been there for a little longer are probably even better funded, the same does not hold true for the entire ecosystem. So we want to address the opportunities, so to speak, or the requirements of working capital of the merchants, the vendors, the suppliers, the logistic companies, the packers. We want to address that, subject to obviously risk management criteria of the bank being fully fulfilled. So this will enable the company to scale up, the e-commerce company. So if he's got money, but his supplier on the marketplace doesn't have money and is not able to supply goods, then that e-commerce company will not be able to scale up. So our objective is to create an end-to-end platform wherein we can meet the entire ecosystem's needs efficiently at competitive pricing. During the course of yesterday and today, I spoke to many people, and cash on delivery comes up a lot. Again, this is relevant to e-commerce. But we try and create solutions where we can give faster credit of money to suppliers, to e-commerce companies. So can we get them faster credit? So we will work with logistics companies like, say, Blue Dart, and we will partner with them and the e-commerce company and get faster credit to the e-commerce company, be it a Snapdeal, a Flipkart, or anyone else for that matter. Just taking examples. Examples are not that relevant. But we get faster credit to the company, and we'll help in the recon as well. So we will give, the files in such a manner that recons are automated. And we'll also create faster. So that is something we are working actively on to help with. We also partner on business as usual things by, offering bundled products, all kinds of products from, employee saving accounts to everything else, and also meeting specific needs. Then obviously during the growth phase of companies, we help out with advisory services for fundraising, etc., private equity fundraising, etc. So we partner through those phases as well. one of the things startups are really good at is ideas, processes. So they keep on ideating, come up with great client ideas. But they don't necessarily come up with such efficient back-end processes. So we would like to partner with them, help them create best-in-class processes, which are, auto recons are in place, so that reconciliation is not a challenge. Can we, we would partner, integrate with their ERPs. So a lot of startups are in Tally. How many people here are in Tally in the slot? Not too many have some hands up. But whenever you ask a question, sometimes somebody may not be listening. So, there are over a lack of SMEs on Tally. So what we do with Tally is we totally integrate with the back-end ERP. So you effectively book your accounting vouchers on Tally, and there's a file that's generated that goes into your corporate net banking. It's authorized in corporate net banking. It gets paid, and a reverse file comes with the reconciliation. So it's and we are taking it to its next level. And we are doing similar things with many other ERPs as well. So we are saying that, boss, you concentrate on your products, you concentrate on your ideas, we will take care of your banking for you. And at times you may not even necessarily need to enter the bank portal to do that. As startups grow, there are newer challenges. There's a need to have proactive engagement with innovative banks like us. And we would love to address some of the challenges that startups may have. Can we partner to leverage banks' infrastructure of branches, ATMs? Why can't your customers come to Yes Bank branches and deposit money for the goods purchased? Or why can't they make an IMPS payment which gets collected and reconciled instantly? So the most important thing, the way I see it, all this is important, very solution-oriented, very focus-oriented, creating innovative solutions. But to my mind, the most important thing that we do at Yes Bank is that we give time and attention to startups. We want to partner with them. We want to listen through your problems. If we tell you we'll call you back, we will call you back. We will meet you at your office. We will never say that, hypothetically, there isn't a very large business opportunity, so let us not waste our time. Yesterday, I was asked this question by many people, that what is a bank? I was there for the dinner last night. What is a bank doing here? I'm sure some of my colleagues, Amit and others, were asked that as well. Srikanth was asked that as well. So, I said, good question, So why we were there is we consider, and why we are all part of this gathering, and we came last night as well, we consider it as an opportunity to partner with you. We'd rather join you when you're young and help you grow as a bank, because the more the partners you have, the better it is. So that is why we are here right now speaking, as well as was there last night. But we will give time and attention to you. We will help you grow your business. We will jointly create innovative solutions. I'll give a small example with a client that we did, a milk company, which was jointly partnered. I won't even name the company. The company had a problem area on paying farmers. So we created an innovative solution jointly, where the farmer came in, put his milk on a vessel, and effectively it generated a payment file. And that payment file, because there was an eco-analyzer which determined fat content and volume, and the payment went through to the farmer's account, fully automated. So each of your startups would have potentially challenges, and we would love to partner with you to find the solutions. I'm confident, that is our biggest USP, the ability to partner with you to find solutions, and that is our USP, customer service, customer attention, and partnership to find solutions. The bank of the future will automatically connect to the mobile 24/7, and there are going to be a lot of trends coming in there. And Yes Bank and other banks are inventing and investing in tech and wallet solutions. And technology is going to be the bedrock of many things, so we will all partner to do that. So, and our USP again is that we are a dynamic bank of emerging India, a bank built on trust, strengthened by knowledge, powered by technology, governed by transparency, committed to responsible banking, and led with young leadership. Not as young as some of the people in the room, but average age of the bank is about 31. And we are completely geared up to partner with startups as they scale up, including new entrants there, to create a level playing field so that the real battle is on product functionality. So we will partner to help you fully there. And our USP is to guide you through your initial phases by helping you to reduce your inefficiencies. We don't want to make money on your inefficiencies that are there. We want to help reduce your inefficiencies that are there. All the best for you. There are many of you who have met during the course of yesterday and today. Very brave, a lot of people very brave. All the best to you in chasing your dreams. My advice is never give up. Never give up. And, I tell the team as well, we have a slightly different role. Never give up. There is always a solution. If you're focused, there is always a solution. Just focus on being focused. Potentially, that is one of our challenges in India. We're very often not focused. You'll go into a meeting, there will be people doing 6 things, including being on the mobile phone all the time. So if you're not focused on being focused, then you will not meet your dreams. So with being focused on being focused, I guarantee you, you stand a much greater chance in meeting your dream. All the very best to you in that. Thank you very much.